So we must always pray that our bodies may outlast our mind, which is difficult because the mind keeps bringing distracting thoughts, and the body gets tired and it wants to sleep and not chant the name of God. But we must saturate our minds with the name of God night and day. As the great Saint Tukaram has sung, O Lord, let thy thoughts be ever in my mind. Let thy figure, let thy image be ever in my mind, and thy name be ever on my lips. It's a very simple song. Roop tujhe mukhira, roop tujhe chittira ho. Roop means your form. Chitta means mind. Let your form be in my mind. Mukhi tujhe naam. Roop tujhe chittira ho. Mukhi tujhe naama. Roop tujhe chittira ho. Mukhi tujhe naam. Roop tujhe chittira ho. Mukhi tujhe naama. Roop tujhe chittira ho. Mukhi tujhe naam. Roop tujhe chittira ho. Mukhi tujhe naama. Roop tujhe chittira ho. Mukhi tujhe naam. Roop tujhe chittira ho. Mukhi tujhe naam. Roop tujhe chittira ho. See, the sweetness is all like sugar sweet, isn't it? See, this sugar sweetness is and you don't care. You feel like carrying on and on and on. And that is the addiction you must get. That is the addiction which I want you to get. That's pure kush. That's pure kush. I'm surprised at the amount of people who laughed. That's pure kush. You know what kush is? The real McCoy. The real article. Rupa tujhe chittira ho, mukhi tujhe naama. Rupa tujhe chittira ho. So Surdas sings one. You know, didn't know songs and all. So I just used to continue to repeat the same song again and again. I didn't care if I made a mistake. I didn't care whether anybody heard me or not. I didn't care whether I was in tune or out of tune. I just cared for God and me, and God and me, and God and me, and God alone. God and me, and God and me, and God and you, and God and me. And us and God, and us and God, and God and God, and God and God, and God and God, and God and God, and in the garden of God, God and God, and God and God, God and God, and 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 just get absorbed. Saturate yourself. You have to saturate yourself. Because when the Europeans first came to India, they said, we don't know what these Indian yogis are doing. They're doing what we call muttering. They're muttering, constantly muttering. So they didn't understand the importance of muttering, that muttering would transform your whole mind. So the great Surdas, he was a blind saint. This was sung by the great Saint Tukaram. Rupa tujhe chittira ho, mukhe tujhe naama. Rupa tujhe chittira ho. You know what is attracting you? It's the simplicity of the thing. It's just so simple. There's no music or anything. And that's what touches the heart, like honeydew, like sugar, right? There's no word. It's better than honeydew. It's better than sugar. So Surdas was a blind saint in India. And you know, he used to be a devotee of the Lord Krishna, the Christ, in his aspect of love. So Krishna came to him once and he caught the baby Krishna. The Krishna, he was blind and he couldn't see, and the little baby used to sit, baby Krishna with his feather, the baby Christ with his peacock feather used to sit listening to him like this. He was about 2 years old, the Krishna. So listen like this. So once Sudha Swami, he caught the Krishna. And he caught him, but the little fellow was struggling to go and all. And ultimately, the little baby, you see, because he had the power of the universe, I mean, that was God. So he released his wrist from him and ran away. And there's a beautiful song, I don't remember it now, but he says that you've declutched my hand. I mean, you've gone away from my hand, the grip of my hand, but I would challenge you to get away from my heart, because you are captured in my heart. And now, little Krishna, you cannot run anywhere. I've locked you up in the locket of my heart. It is so beautiful. These songs are so beautiful. I'm going to try and get it. But they have Indian tunes which have nuances which are not very well sung in the masters. But there's another one where he says that if you cannot make it now, you will never make it. So he says, अब न बनी तो फिर न बनेगी, अब न बनी तो न बनेगी. If you अब न बनी तो, if you can't make it, bani to means make it, ab means now. If you cannot make it now, it will not be made tomorrow. Don't defer it till tomorrow. Gurunath, we are tired and now we must have a rest and sleep. No. We must burn for God. I cannot rest in peace now till I do become thy light. I'm burning in my love for the eternal infinite. You see, from Jnana Yoga, I'm taking you straight to devotional Bhakti Yoga, straight from head to heart. So the balance of both is required in your search for God. अब न बनी तो फिर न बनेगी, अब न बनी तो न बनेगी. ठाट पड़ा रह जाएगा सब, चल पड़ेगा बंजारा जब. When I was small, a yogi used to come by the back of my house in Pune. There was a small lane, and they used to, one chap, I remember two guys, once this yogi and the other one he was selling these sugar-coated ginger, these ginger, what do you say for waddies? Candies. Ginger candies. You get them in America now, but they were very tasty. And this other fellow used to sing, if you can't make it now, you will never make it again. I think as a child, he was waking me up, to my mission. I felt that and then I had this burning sensation to run away to the Himalayas. I've written it in my book, Wings to Freedom also, how I ran away, and after some time I meditated under a tree and would open one eye to see that whether anybody's looking at me. I was 3 or 4 years. Nobody looked at me. So I gave it up as a bad joke. And then after 3 miles, I got very tired. And then I started to think of the tigers in the Himalayas and the panthers. And so me and my uncle who were running away, we went back home. My grandfather didn't even look up from his newspaper. He carried on because he was the boss of the whole territory, and he had his people plan. He knew that the kids would not get lost. So that was my first attempt to the flight to the Himalayas. Was an utter failure, and later, of course, I was able to go by God's grace. And then he says, Tata pada. He says, what are you looking? When the Banjara, means when the vagabond king leaves the garment of this body and takes the flight, or when the swan flies, when the wild goose flies away from this heart, the body will fall like a sack of potatoes, and all your wealth will lie waste before you. O soul, wake up to your reality. This is not the real wealth. God is the true wealth. ठाट पड़ा रह जाएगा सब, चल पड़ेगा बंजारा जब. ठाट पड़ा. All your wealth will be of no use. It will lie waste before you. जाएगा सब. When the wild goose flies out of your heart, चल पड़ेगा बंजारा जब. अब न बनी तो फिर न बनेगी, अब न बनी तो न बनेगी. So if you can't make it now, you will never make it then. There's no then, that and the other. It's either now or never. You know? So that's why they sing. In the West, they have a now or never different song. They say, it's now or never, come hold me tight. You know, isn't there a song? So they're also urgent, but they've directed it to the wrong goal. Not bad, a good attempt. It says, if it's now or never, come hold me tight. Kiss me, my darling, be mine tonight. Why tonight? We say, kiss me, my darling, be mine for eternity. Because you're telling God to kiss you with his lips of fire and transform you. The alchemy of totale transformazione, where, oh God, my darling, my beloved, tear me asunder if you must, but save me from the evil gust. That's one of my poems, Narsimha Mahadev, to Sri Yukteswar. So you have to transform it to God. It's a good idea, but it's not a temporary, fleeting idea which through your songs, the culture is built through your songs, social activities, etc. I'm here to change your culture because you have been deceived by an evanescent culture to give you something more permanent and something more true. And I'm not shy into going into your songs and giving you the real meaning. It's now or never. Come hold me tight. Oh God, hold me tight. I will not let thee go till thou tellst thy name to me. And I will wrestle and fight with thee the whole night. That's Jacob. He wrestled with the angel and he said, I'll not let you go till you tell the name to me. That's how should be your fight. Your wrestle and tussle and bustle and everything should be to God. All your energy should be directed to God. So when you pray this, you have to change the gestalt and turn it towards God. There's such beautiful songs. You can change that. You know, we say changing from ishq hakiki to ishq mizazi to ishq hakiki. So from the love songs we sing to human beings, let's divert them and sing them to the permanent lover. One by one your relatives will be taken away from you. One by one your lovers will be taken away from you. Your aunt has died, your uncle's died, your grandmother's died, nannies, this thing has died, so-and-so sisters. You're going for the future. You're seeing it every day. The boyfriend breaks, the girlfriend breaks. Nothing is permanent. Everything is subject to disease, decay and death. Everything that is created is evanescent and is changeable. Why not invest your love in something that is everlasting? Does that make some sense?
निराकार रूपो विद्वाचक्रयाणा समावेशमत्